Hi everyone, it's David Szabo here. I call myself the Mindful Fly Fisherman. I teach mindfulness meditation and I help people connect to the river within. All rivers flow from a higher place and there's a flow of consciousness within us that includes our thoughts, feelings, emotions, intentions, our dreams, and that's very, very important. And I just help people connect to the river within. That's what I do. I do it for individuals and teams. So at the start of this year, this is 2024 January, I had this great idea. I thought it was easy. I thought, I'm gonna fast for 7 days, do a water fast. Now, prior to that point, I'd never done anything like that. I'd done 3-day fasts, 5-day fasts. So it was gonna be a bit of a stretch, and I have to admit, it was not easy. But during that time of just allowing my stream of consciousness to come past and not judge things, but also get in touch with my dreams and my intentions for my life and that of my family and things like that and the planet. Well, what happened was I had an awareness of 5 things that humanity needs, things that I need and I'm sure you need in your awareness. 5 elements of a healthy mind that we need, and mindfulness can help with each one of these elements. I'm just going to share with you where I am. It's beautiful along here. I used to teach fly fishing here for 7 years, and often with clients right towards the end of a session we'd be watching the bugs, on the water and the sunset being reflected. It was beautiful, and the trout would rise to the bugs and the insects, and we'd cast to them and catch beautiful trout. But the conversation, because we were in such natural settings, would always turn to the things of the heart. So yeah, and that's what mindfulness is. It's really becoming heartful. So from a place of heartfulness, I want to share 5 elements of a healthy mind that we need to embrace in 2024 and beyond, and mindfulness can help with each one of these. Okay, so the first element is awareness. So remember what I was saying? We all have a stream of consciousness that flows. We have a river within. So are you aware of the river of the thoughts, feelings, intentions, and emotions that form your stream of consciousness? Now, the other part of that is the spiritual dimension. You are a body, soul, and a spirit. And that river of life that flows through you flows from a higher place. Are you aware of that river? And so part of this awareness that we're talking about is the stuff that we'd rather avoid. And sometimes facing that can be quite challenging, but part of that is our healing, actually facing that stuff and bringing the light of love into that place, and we don't do that alone. And it's also forming a cup of compassion for ourselves where we can hold ourselves in a space even with God, with friends, and we can negotiate that in a safe way. So when we're in a place of mindfulness where we're not judging our experience, that's all mindfulness is. It's just accepting your experience with non-judgmental awareness and loving kindness. And it can be as easy as just focusing on the breathing. And if the mind wanders, just bringing it back to the sensations of the breath. Could even be the body, just sensing into your feet or your body as a ball of awareness. And as you're there long enough, what happens is this amazing thing happens where you get into the present moment. You notice you're letting go, your shoulders might let go, you soften in your chin. And then in that, in awareness, we then pay attention to what's flowing downstream or flowing to us from upstream from a higher place. That can include your dreams. So in awareness, we pay attention, and that's very, very powerful. So the next element I want to share of a healthy mind going into the future is insight and wisdom. So all rivers flow from a higher place. There's a stream of consciousness in you. And when we pay attention in awareness, what is coming to us in that moment? In those moments, it could be something like, I need to connect more with my children. I need to connect more with my heart and make time for myself. I need to focus on my body. I need to focus on my spirituality to feel more grounded. So in awareness, we pay attention, and then insight and wisdom flows. That is our higher selves. So our higher self, and that is even the part that is connected to us spiritually, begins to flow through the intuition gateway. So the third element of a healthy mind is connection. Now this is a really powerful element of a healthy mind. And again, mindfulness really, really helps with that, with a stream of consciousness. Because you see, you might be in the present moment observing the ecosystem within, and all of a sudden your heart starts talking to you and like, I need to connect with my family more, or I need to connect with a spiritual community, or it could be, I need to find an artist community or something like that, or a musician's community to explore my dream because it's screaming at me or it's whispering to me. So connection is a very, very powerful thing. It's connecting with your body. So being in your own body, not out there, but bringing your power back to yourself, your awareness back to yourself, and saying, what do I need to thrive and flourish as a human being? So that's very, very powerful. Now, the other part of connection that is often overlooked is your connections reflect back to you elements of your dream. I'll give you an example. So say you do a little bit of speaking online, or you're doing things out in the community, and people say, gee, I get inspired when you speak. And then you start hearing that a few times, and then you start registering, I think I've got a gift here, I need to explore that. So connections help to reflect back to you parts of you that could even become a calling or a purpose when you're giving a contribution. And that's a very, very powerful thing. That's why we need to be in connected communities. And so I just encourage you, if you haven't focused much on connection, and when you're in your mindful place, it starts talking to you, just send up a prayer. Help me find connections. It's as simple as that. So the fourth element that I want to talk about is purpose and contribution. Remember, we were talking about in connection, how in connection, the connections we have with people, but especially to ourselves, where we just get an inkling, intuition starts speaking to me, I need to explore this. Then we get confirmations from our friends and family, or our spiritual community or whatever, like, you need to do this, or gee, you're good at this, you're inspiring, or something like that. And then we explore that, and then we get a sense of purpose and contribution. And that's really, really important for a healthy mind going into the future, because we're all social creatures, and we're all part of this collective ecosystem of oneness, where what we do affects everything else. That's just becoming aware more and more as time goes on, that we're all part of a connected spiritual ecosystem. And so our contribution is very, very important. And I just encourage you right now, your contribution is very, very important. Even speaking words of kindness to people every day makes a massive, massive difference. Now, the last element of a healthy mind for 2024 and beyond is the manifestation of your dreams. And that is so important, because the manifestation of your dreams, or bringing them into reality, is a bridge to your greatest area of fulfillment. And fulfillment's really, really important. So I just encourage you, if there's something you're dreaming about, something you're desiring, a lofty dream, something. It could be being a speaker, or it could be baking cakes for the world that make people happy, or it could be, I don't know, creating a podcast, or it could be creating some beautiful art, or it could be just walking the streets and loving on people and giving them a kind word, and just doing that more intentionally. I don't know what your purpose is, but I just encourage you to pursue that, because that is so important, and the world needs that right now. May you be blessed with all of those 5 elements of a healthy mind as you are mindful. And it all starts from awareness. But I want to talk about a dimension beyond awareness, and that is becoming one with the river and the source of all life. You see, all water flows from a higher place, and you are mostly water. Just have a think about that. As we bring ourselves into alignment with the divine presence within us, that can bring us to a place that is beyond awareness, even of ourselves, where that awareness, where we are joined with God within as God's kid, really, at the deepest level, we can enter into a place called soul rest. And in that place, our soul doesn't have to work out every little thing and every little detail of our lives. But there's a trust element. It doesn't mean we don't work or we don't plan for our dreams. Like, dreaming's one thing, planning's another. So I just want to bless you this year and beyond with divine rest within, that you can rest in a place beyond awareness where you are one with the divine presence within and you co-create from there. Wishing you all the best for 2024 and beyond.